Decentralization is a complex topic. To have complete decentralization, you need decentralization at all levels and aspects. Full decentralization is what makes a blockchain secure and lively, as there isn't a single point of failure, and even if something goes wrong or if there is an attacker, the blockchain will keep on working as it should. Sure, it is true that Cardano is decentralized in many levels, but there are also places where Cardano could be more decentralized. For example, even though we have many companies building on Cardano and contributing to the code and development of Cardano, the truth is that governance is not really that decentralized. It could be more decentralized, but that is exactly what Cardano is going for with the development of the CIP 1694 that will completely decentralize the governance process, and in this video we'll search to explain the roadmap for the decentralization of Cardano through a greater detail. Picking up on what I was saying before, I think it is important to reinforce that Cardano is decentralized at many levels. For example, Cardano does have a pretty high number of Stakepool operators and block producers, and its stake it's widely divided across different Stakepool operators. However, I do feel Cardano could be a bit more decentralized in governance, even though I'll dare to say that it's not at all centralized. Thanks to the design of the blockchain and thanks to all the Stakepool operators and block producers that are responsible for making the blockchain happen and that have a saying in the whole process. Besides that, it's true that currently we have many companies working on Cardano. So even in the development of Cardano, the process is not centralized as you have many contributors to the development of the blockchain. But the reality is that if we look at governance, the founding entities still have a considerable amount of influence in Cardano because they have the keys that allow them to assess the treasury and change protocol parameters. But who are the founding entities, you might be asking? Well, we have Emergo, that is a commercial and education arm of Cardano. We have the Cardano Foundation that is tasked with advancing the public digital infrastructure of Cardano. And we have IOG, the company that builds and maintains Cardano. These three companies started Cardano, founded Cardano, and consequently hold the 7 keys that control the treasury, with IOG controlling 3 keys and Emergo and the Cardano Foundation controlling 2 keys each. To make decisions and to spend the funds of the treasury in the development of the blockchain, it's necessary to have at least 5 of the 7 keys. So these companies need to closely discuss and collaborate to make decisions related to the development of Cardano, meaning that no company by itself is able to make decisions that will influence the development of the blockchain. What means that we do have a certain level of decentralization even in this decision-making process. However, more than just having to align with themselves and agree between themselves, it's important that the founding entities make an effort to explain their decisions and inform the community, educate people, and make sure the community, more specifically Stakepool operators, agree with this decision and are aligned with their decisions. And if you remember, we have over 1,000 Stakepool operators, so that's a lot of people having to agree with a decision. This happens because Stakepool operators have a lot of power in the development and the future of the blockchain, and they do have a saying right now in the blockchain with the current infrastructure we have, because if they do not agree with the decision of these founding entities in terms of how the treasury funds should be spent or the parameters of the blockchain, the reality is that they can always create a hard fork and a new blockchain where those changes do not happen, where those transactions are reverted, like what happened with Ethereum and the whole issue with the DAO hack. This further enhances the real level of decentralization of Cardano right now and of Cardano governance, because you have the necessity of creating a consensus with Stakepool operators, and there were examples in the past where the founding entities had to listen to the concerns of Stakepool operators before changes and improvements are made into the Cardano blockchain. However, with the development of governance, the power will be even more distributed, not only with Stakepool operators having a saying, but all the ADA holders, which I think is very positive and brings the decentralization of governance to a whole new level, as we have many people and many wallets interacting in Cardano. That is the power of the CIP 1694, the Cardano governance proposal that is tasked with creating an MVP on-chain governance model for Cardano. And if you want to learn all about discussions and developments on the CIP and what's in place for Cardano governance, you can and should definitely check the playlist governance here at the top with all the information you'll need to be aware of this process, share with you in a fairly simple and entertaining way, I would say. One of the resolutions with this CIP was the creation of several community-run institutions that could help assist and deliver crucial functions for governance on Cardano. One very relevant institution that was already created very recently is the Intersect members-based organization that is tasked with the continuity and the future development of Cardano. Intersect is responsible to maintain Cardano's core technology and develop a roadmap for the future of Cardano and to ensure its continuous development in many levels. Basically, I would say that the MBO is responsible to implement what is decided on governance by the Cardano community and by all the stakeholders. But of course, once again, you can learn everything you need to know about the Intersect MBO in this video here at the top, so please check it out whenever you have some time. Right now, it's important to notice that there is a governance roadmap for the years to come. You can find it here in the Intersect website, and that's exactly the roadmap we'll go through in this video so that you figure out everything that has happened so far, the progress in governance, but also what is planned for the future. Taking a look first at some of the progress, everything started with the CIP 1694. The link for the proposal will be in the description. Then we had Scotsfest in Edinburgh, where the Age of Voltaire was discussed. In February 2023, we had a Colorado workshop, the first major workshop on governance and the kickoff of many community events all around the world related with governance. And in March, we had the first draft of governance based on that meeting and based on community feedback. In April 2023, a grant was made available to create several community-led governance workshops across the world to discuss the CIP. In total, we had more than 50 events in different locations and over 1,000 participants, which is great, I would say. So many people participating in a topic you could consider to be a bit boring, even though it is super important. From these meetings, there were changes made to the CIP 1694. The changes you can see here. Also, if you want to learn everything you need to know about the CIP 1694 and what's in store, you should definitely check the GitHub for the proposal. It will be in the description as well, and I'll again remind you to go check that YouTube playlist if you prefer an easier to consume resource, I would say. There were plenty of workshops along the way, and the workshop in Edinburgh in the middle of July 2023 marked the end of the governance workshops. Intersect was launched in July 2023. If you want to learn more about it, remember the video I mentioned previously with all the information you need about Intersect and how you can participate on it as well and have a more active contribution in the governance and development of Cardano. Then we had the Sanctionet, that is the testnet for Cardano governance that is live right now, and in fact people are already testing and building on top of it. And if you want to learn more about Sanctionet, you can watch the video here at the top explaining you everything you need to know. Then we had Intersect creating an open source committee, a committee made of community members that wanted to participate in Intersect, and that should define how open source collaboration on Cardano should happen and should be organized. And in August, documentation of SanctionNet was made available to allow a more easy and better participation from the community in the process. This is everything that has been achieved so far, and in my opinion, it's a lot. And it's pretty significant. We will now analyze the roadmap and the things that are planned and that we haven't yet completed. What's actually in store for the future of governance in Cardano. If you're enjoying, if this is being useful so far, please leave a like and share this video with anyone you know that's part of the Cardano community and interested in Cardano. Also, if you haven't yet and you want to stay up to date about Cardano governance and Cardano overall, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a video. But let's now come back to the roadmap, and here in Q4 2023, you can expect more features being added to SanctionNet. We'll also have the Cardano Summit, and at the end of the year, the Cardano repos, the GitHub repos, will be migrated to Intersect, where the technical steering committee and the open source committee will define the best practices for contributions to the repository and the repository management as well. In the end of 2023, there should be a ballot where the Cardano community can vote and give their opinion on the CIP 1694 and all the progress that has been made to decide how it should move forward from that moment onwards. With that, an interim constitution should also be published at the end of the year. From that moment onwards, we will start the consultation period for the constitution, where the Cardano Civics Committee will have 12 months and many workshops to get community input to develop a final constitution, workshops from Q1 to Q3. Towards the end of Q1 and beginning of Q2, we will have a Chang art fork. This art fork will present a minimum viable governance for Cardano and a way to achieve on-chain community consensus. From Q2 to Q4 of 2024, DREPs will have a period where everything will remain stable, a very important period for you to use the new features, get used to all the process, and to build up delegation to actually play an effective role as a DREP, I would say. And in the end of 2024, we should have a very important constitutional event in Buenos Aires that will bring delegates elected from the global workshops we had about governance all around the world and about the constitution all around the world to converge on the first version of the Cardano constitution. Of course, once you have this version of the Cardano constitution, we should have a vote on this constitution where ADA holders will have a saying if they agree with it or not, or if we need to go back to the drawing board to create an improved constitution. And from there, the roadmap of Cardano, once we have a constitution and a way to really have on-chain governance and on-chain consensus, will be a responsibility of the Cardano community. You know, to be honest with you, in my opinion, this is a huge endeavor, I would say. Governance is something that's hard and that has not quite been solved by humans after millenniums of trying to do so. So yeah, it's difficult. And this roadmap, it's also pretty ambitious. But of course, if you want to get things done, you need to put milestones to be ambitious, and those milestones can't last forever. You can just be delaying things forever. However, considering the dimension of the task and everything that we are trying to accomplish here, the reality is that we might see some delays in this ambitious roadmap. However, in my opinion, as long as we keep progressing, I think that's preferable. It's preferable to have some delays than have a rushed system that does not work and does not serve this purpose. So yeah, I mean, I think delays are good, especially if they happen because we are listening to the community and we are building something better altogether, because more minds are better than just a few. So certainly some exciting times for the future of Cardano and maybe even the future of the world, because if we can have a good governance model here, who knows the impact that could have in society. And you know, there's a lot that needs to be built right now for the development of Cardano and of governance. And if you have ideas on things that should be built, you know, you should act on them. And if you want to act on them, You should learn more about the Quadrants, a team that has the skills and experience to execute your ideas on Cardano, and that is currently participating on Intersect as well, playing a very active role. You can learn more about this exciting team here on this page, on the video here at the end page. On my side, thanks so much for watching, thanks so much for supporting, and I'll see you in the video interview with the CEO of the Quadrant.